Micky McCoy's wife just dropped some messages that could flip the whole Charlie Kirk story upside down. And the moment those leaks hit the internet, people started saying that Erika Kirk is now scrambling to run away before
The person the planes were actually tracking for years was Erika. Not Charlie, but Erika was the one being tracked by these planes between 2022 and September of 2025. Both of those aircrafts, SUBTT, the yellow plane, and SUBND, the blue plane, showed 68 overlaps with Erika's documented locations, okay? 68 overlaps. I have since been able to add now 73 times that this overlapped, okay?
Okay, what got everyone's attention was the footage. Something about Micky just didn't look normal. His own wife seems tired of hiding things and looks ready to let it all out. But Erika, she definitely doesn't want that. And what she's supposedly doing to stop these leaks is exactly what has people talking. If you clicked here looking for answers, let me walk you through everything. You're going to hear about the weird video clips, the timing that makes zero sense, a strange family trip that happened right before Charlie was shot, and even Erika Kirk's connections to Egyptian planes and Israel. And by the end of this, you'll understand why some people online think this whole thing could have been planned from the inside. So, let's start with Micky. He was Charlie Kirk's young chief of staff, only 23, and he was standing right next to Charlie when everything went down. I'm not going to explain what happened to Charlie because most people already know. What matters is Micky's reaction in that moment. There's a video that blew up online. Instead of ducking, helping, or even reacting like everyone else, Micky quietly pulls out his phone and puts it to his ear. No dialing, no buttons, just lifts it instantly like he was expecting.
But in this particular video, he's not standing where you can get a view of Charlie asking a question. So this part is not tracking, okay? Micky is not standing to the side of Charlie, he is behind. And so if you're saying what earlier, we're supposed to see him, the best place to stand if you're gonna get a video of Charlie asking a question is going to be in a place where you can see both Charlie and the person asking the question. And that's just not where he's standing. So that excuse doesn't make sense to me. Now, maybe he's saying Micky was there when he was throwing hats out, and he was there trying to send videos thereafter once things got started. That's all possible. I don't know. Regarding him putting his hands up to his ear, it does sound completely plausible to me that if you first hear a gunshot, you're going to naturally do this, right? That kind of makes sense. You're going to go, what was that maybe? And then I think typically you'd get down. And the issue that I have is I never see him take that phone down. Maybe he does, right? Maybe he does. We don't know for a fact. And so we should be clear that it doesn't look to me like he's just covering his ears there, but maybe he is. What I will say is that it would be unlikely that you would keep holding your ears until you get all the way out, and that you wouldn't duck down.
Then Erika added fuel to the fire. On national TV, she said that when Charlie was shot, she didn't hear her phone because it was on silent. But when she picked it up, Micky was calling her, and she said he called her seconds after the shooting.
And that's when Micky started calling me. He called me within seconds.
I called Erika. I just remember it rang like 3 or 4 times. I didn't know what to say. Those are the words that will change someone's life forever, and you have to be the one to say it. That was the first time I've ever called her during a campus tour stop.
And so Micky called me, and I'll never forget him just being like, Charlie's been shot. He's been shot, get the kids. Get security, get the kids, he's been shot. I sprinted out of her treatment center, just collapsed in the middle of the parking lot. Called our security. Yeah. Unbelievable nightmare.
So according to Erika, Micky called her within seconds. If you might remember, that Micky McCoy has been under a lot of fire for how he reacted less than 1 second after Charlie was shot. He put his phone or his hands to his ears, looks like his phone, and began walking away. People were highly suspicious of this, and we were told by Turning Point USA, executive producer of the Charlie Kirk Show, Andrew Colvette, that Micky did not make a phone call here. He in fact put his hands up over his ears because the shot was very loud. Remember this.
Last thing, because this is part of the video allegations here. is that they think they're alleging that he was on the phone immediately. He was not. He was taking social videos, which he would send to our group chat, which we would then put on Charlie's social while the event was happening, so you could see like the crowd come in or his interactions. And we were only 2 questions into this event, so he was still getting it out to all the chats he needed to do, which he did at every event. He turns around, and it was so blaringly loud, I'm told. You would know this better than I, but this is what I'm told. It was so blaringly loud, and he was so shell-shocked. He put his fingers in his ear, but his phone was still in his hand. He walks away.
Blake Neff, who's also on this Charlie Kirk show from Turning Point USA, who was right next to Micky McCoy when the shot rang out, also explained that Micky McCoy and him separated. It was not until they reconvened after the fact, when he encountered Micky with his lip quivering, that the phone call was then made to Erika and then to his father, Rob McCoy. Candace Owens came out straight up yesterday and said that this was an inside job. People are suspicious because of inconsistencies and lies like this.
So, who's lying? Because both stories can't be true. And the easy fix, Micky could show his call logs. It would take 5 minutes, but he hasn't released a single thing. Not one timestamp. Nothing. And that silence only makes the whole situation feel even stranger.
I don't like the silence from Turning Point employees. I know for a fact one of them, who I'm not going to name, has a text message from Charlie the day before he died saying they are going to kill me.
Wow.
Now, he was not referring to lobby when he wrote that message.
Yeah.
If you are his friend and you're interested in the truth, why wouldn't you tell the public that? Wouldn't you just come right out to the public and say, hey, I don't know what happened, but like Charlie thought they were going to kill him. I do not like the way Turning Point is behaving. I've made that clear. And nobody is going to emotionally manipulate me and tell me that it's all good now. And to attack Turning Point would be to attack his legacy. Mm-hmm. Charlie told me years ago that he had, which I shared the messages. He was having a ton of visions and was telling me that Turning Point was going to be the death of him. He knew he was going to die young, and strangely knew that I was going to be the only person to defend him. Right. I showed the messages.
Yeah.
I showed the messages.
They tried to say it was fake and you pulled it up and yeah.
We're here now. And I'm going to defend him. I'm going to figure out what happened.
But there's something else that made people look even closer. Candace Owens pointed out that just a few weeks before Charlie died, the McCoys went on their first ever family trip with Charlie and Erika. Micky's wife even posted about it, saying it was their very first vacation together. While on that trip, the McCoys filmed sweet private moments of the Kirk family, the same clips that later went viral after Charlie died, including the one where Erika takes Charlie's hand while walking with their kids. But why were they filming the Kirk family so much? Most family trips don't work like that. Usually someone from the family holds the camera, not another couple hiding behind the scenes like documentary makers. And then it gets even weirder. Just 4 days before Charlie died, Micky suddenly decided to film Charlie again, during a trip to Korea. He said it was the first time he ever filmed him like that. The timing felt strange to a lot of people.
Yeah, so originally we were supposed to go to the DMZ portion where Trump shook Kim Jong-un's hand. And I'm going to put him on blast, but the United Nations canceled Charlie. Didn't allow us to go.
Wow.
So we were scheduled to go. So we had to go to that lookout point, which was really exciting still. So glad we got that.
Yeah, you got to see it.
Something else that's really interesting is when we were at that Build Up Korea event, Charlie was meeting with all these pastors backstage. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And there's Pastor Son, S-O-N. And Charlie was talking to him, and he was talking about politics from the pulpit, which you can't do during an election season in Korea, but he was doing it anyways. And Charlie's like, let me take a picture with you. So he took the picture, and we left Korea. 2 days after we left Korea, the pastor was arrested and is in jail right now. For
no way.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Because you can't. It's there. Yeah, we have the picture up there. That was 2 days after they arrested that pastor. He's in jail right now for talking about politics from the pulpit.
But while Eliza McCoy seemingly disappeared, Turning Point USA did the exact opposite. They went into overdrive. Everywhere you looked, podcasts, interviews, speeches, it was all about Micky McCoy.
I think Micky was promised or told or encouraged that he would become the new Charlie, and it is a fact that was the #1 sentiment that we received from our Turning Point USA insiders following Charlie's assassination. That the, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious Micky McCoy appeared to have like an extra spring in his step that made them all a little bit uncomfortable in the aftermath. And that he seemed all too happy to assume Charlie's position. Look, he's already speaking at Liberty University. Why? Because he made some phone calls That's have we lowered the standards for what makes somebody a hero in 2020?
Every post, every clip, every press release painted him as some kind of young legend. It didn't feel like grief. It felt like they were trying to bury a fire under a mountain of praise before things got worse. And then Turning Point exposed themselves. In one video, you see someone comforting Micky, telling him to ignore conspiracy theories and that the team had handled everything, and he shouldn't worry.
Erika Kirk, where has she been? She's been out of the spotlight almost completely. No interviews, no real public presence, nothing. And at this point, people are wondering why. Is it the attention? Is it pressure? Or is something else going on behind the scenes? Now, let's talk about this moment right here between Micky McCoy and someone named Bernadette. Because when I heard that clip, my thought was the same as a lot of you. Who exactly is Bernadette? And why does she sound like she's speaking for the team?
I don't want you to feel hurt by all these horrible things. We know that you have a responsibility. You're a young man. And I just want you to take a deep breath, like I said, and you know what? Let them spin their conspiracy theories. You're a good kid. You had instructions to call Erika. Charlie had a team that jumped right in there. I know that team. And we just got to move on. We got to push the moving on, and let's get to these midterms.
Yeah. Bernadette, who are you? And Micky, let's slow this down for a second. You had instructions to call Erika Kirk right away. And based on the footage that we've all seen over and over and over again, that's exactly what you did. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Now here's the part I really want people to pay attention to.
That's right. Thank you, Bernadette. It's crazy. It's just, I
Lost for words there, huh, Micky? That little stutter, that pause, that moment where the sentence never really finishes. That's the kind of thing that makes people stop and replay the clip. Not because it proves anything, but because it raises more questions. So now we're left with this. Erika Kirk is out of sight. Bernadette is telling Micky to ignore conspiracy theories and just move on. Micky confirms he had instructions to call Erika and then freezes up right after thanking her.